So about a decade and change ago, the year is 2012. The planet had recently survived another apocalypse by doing nothing. The US finally decided they wanted to be okay with Tigay, and I looked like this. Sometimes. In one of the random corners of the internet here was a lone indie company by the name of Main 6, who was enjoying MLPFIM and thought, hey, these magic friendship lasers make a sick video game. So they created My Little Pony Fighting is Magic, a 1v1 fighter that, with updates, started to gain a meta and a massive following. And the attention of Hasbro, who ran them off the internet for a little bit. Time passes and an email is received by one of the devs from Lauren Faust. Turns out she was one of the fans. Okay, there is no way Hasbro will get mad about this. Them's Fightin Herds is a 1v1 fighting game based in the world of Foenum. If you were looking for any similarities to Equestria whatsoever, good luck. I went through them so that I could try and make some memes, but I couldn't find one. For those expecting an adorable campy fighter whose story ultimately boils down to, and the real lessons were the friends we made along the way, and everybody was happy ever after, no. This is me tossing my hood into the ring and saying it could only get darker. There is no magic friendship in these lands. There's friends, there's magic, and there's your bare hooves being tossed at anyone or anything with sharp teeth and carnivorous habits. Yeah, I'm willing to believe that Main 6 saw the freedom of not having to rely on friendship and leaned on it heavy. This world has no predators in it. Shut up. This is due to a great mage sealing them away after they basically went karna crazy one day. Want to hear about the war? I guess Protoisi did something on that. The story is definitely an afterthought, especially with the package the game was advertised as. Every player who I heard about the game from never even mentioned a story mode. Then again, I hang with FGC folks, so story isn't really what we're concerned with when there's new tech ready for discovery or a hind ready to be kicked. Plus, the story isn't finished, so nobody could gatekeep me for not playing it. The actual fighting itself is rather robust and speedy to the age, and searching for a fight is actually a bit more fun than most other fighters I've played in the past. Usually in the main lobby, you're limited to matchmaking whilst you walk up to someone and ask to throw hose, customize, or play the arcade mode. Here in the pixel lobby, you can do most of those things, and find a nice sunny or shady spot to bludgeon a dummy for hours on end. There are also not-so-secret areas called
around here, everything, so next world go round. Pays bills. Stores away food for the winter.
Finding one of these predator statues and touching it will cause it to split open and reveal a portal to a salt vein. Upon entrance, you have a small load time and then get thrown into a mining map filled with salt and shadow preds. Why are you going on about salt? What, do you never win or something? That's besides the point. This is money here. That's right, your currency for the game is the classic gamer insult turned, I'ma need that off your hands, son.
Looking pretty salty over there. I'll take it.
It's everywhere. On the floor, in the rocks, on the rocks, it's in the carts.
He's in the walls. He's in the...
And your pickaxe is so damned rugged,
It even works underwater.
only thing is, getting too close to a pred will initiate a fight. Be careful who your avatar is, because that's who you're going to be fighting as in the mines. The AI in the game will only have a few programmed approaches that mostly prioritize not getting hit. You're actually a lot more heavy-handed than your enemies here. Paws and scales versus hooves definitely shows on the health bar. Well, except for one enemy, but that's for later. A timer with a counter of preds is displayed at the top of the screen. This tells you how long you have until something happens, because you didn't take out all the preds around. Carefully toss dynamite or battle the floofs for supremacy. Any wins will also net you a bit of salt, and clearing the horde summons another that may block and hit a bit better than the last. This lasts for around 5 rounds tops until something happens anyways. The timer will state that something sinister has spawned and all of the preds will disappear, leaving you to wander peacefully for a short time. Once that timer runs down, the richest hind in the room will become overtaken by darkness and transform into one of the most dangerous preds in the game. No, damn it! Close, but no. The bear. Your health will be refreshed, pickaxe revoked, and a new hunger will drive you. Tasked as the new juggernaut of the server, you must now gallop around the mine looking for any players to harvest. Running up to players will initiate a fight where you have control over the spammable huggles themselves, with one mission. Battle all the players and clear them out as best you can. Win or lose, you get to keep whatever you make it out of here with. Plus you get badges for performance that reward you with bonus salt. Entering an inactive salt mine is free for any player, but the longer they stay in there, the more expensive it is for others to jump in, because each wave provides more dangerous preds and higher salt yields. The enemy AI ramping up in player smarts is definitely cool too, as some enemies will summon shadow fighters of the main cast, quickly ramping up in survival as these shadow players are much more competent than the normal preds, because the AI has more to work with now. Now when, not if, when you get kicked out of the mines at the end of a run, you can spend your hard-earned Halite on customizations for your little chibi. I'll be saving up for a follower since somebody apparently stole the one I found in the story mode. Speaking of that someone, let me introduce you to one of my pocket herd.
Shadow Wizard Money Gang. We love casting spells.
I know what you're thinking, but I'm not gonna say it. There's a whole video that exists for that already. Oleander is a mystic cursed with the darker side of magic. Doesn't seem to be stopping her from saving the realm though.
I've heard it all before, and I'll prove you wrong.
Her book of spells can not only be wielded like a blunt object, but in its pages houses a terrifying demon of the void realm, whose existence is only meant to cause pain for what it controls. Some call him a demon. Others think he's but a cruel consequence.
Hello, I'm Fred.
He prefers we call him Fred. He can be summoned to change up the magical follow-ups if you use Super 2, which you're never gonna do, making him a sheer force of oppression once in your hands.
What are hands?
Shut up. Teleports, fireballs, and short hops are going to become your best friends as you zone the enemy for an opening and punish any and all movement afterwards. Gather all the knowledge you can mid-battle because
I don't have the time or crayons to teach you how to fight.
there's better peeps for that.
My mama don't raise no fools.
Next up, we have our Chapter 1 protag and the chosen prairie hero. A literal cowgirl, lasso and all, it's Arizona. Being the balanced poster child, she rocks the neutral game metaphorically, literally, and meta-wise. Wait, I've seen how proper grazing and hog tying can dominate a battle firsthand.
What are hands?
She can slam the ground hard enough to crack it, sending opponents into the air stun for a lasso grab, only to then run them down like she was a gaucho sister. Only with horns instead of a rifle. Whether approaching high or rushing neutral, her moves aren't just built for most situations, because she can deal a good chunk of damage even off of one hit. Too bad her lasso is allergic to ducking, no matter how big that rack is.
Oh no. Oh no!
Let us break the ice.
The Duchess of Floof and dedicated cold shoulder of the game, Velvet harnesses ice and snow to not only fight at a distance of the entire screen, but slow foes to a crawl mid-battle. Her long-distance combos getting swapped out for mid-range ice traps and trip hazards of at least 10 to 100 centimeters. She's the story's introduction to the player of how sometimes you're just not allowed to play the game you bought. It's the player's job to make sure that that exact same sentiment is expressed or broken online, and the bill is paid for any floof-related damages and T-burns.
Well done. Again.
Tianfuo is a walking, burning contradiction to the plot of the story, and she has a clone that's coming out soon that I gotta pick up. She's also on my hip draw. Tianfuo is a torrent of fire personified into a character. High speed and rushdown with a nice kick of spice to her. Yes, that was a fire joke. Her kit is built for fierce, fast oppression, using crash kicks to zoom across the field while battering the enemy with her hooves and cauterizing the ensuing split wounds. Deadly in the air as she is on the ground too, since she's a dragon, so of course she can fly. Only thing is, fire wings can't charge a breath or limb weapon. This literal war criminal is one of my pocket characters purely because she fuses quick, twitchy, rewarding gameplay, methodical rushdowns, and internet memery in an overworld sprite. So far on this roster, her speed is only contested by one person.
Do you kiss your mother with that mouth?
Yes, seen as a demonic force by any and all other alpacas, Paprika unknowingly fulfills this nightmare both in story and online. These literal fusion reactors of characters turn the game on its head with moves that oppress your movement, punish jumps, punish low blocks, punish heals, revoke your flight access. Your breathing is wrong. I think you get it. While being an archetype that admits to being allergic to blocking, Paprika is terrifying to see wandering around in your public rooms, and it is a trip to watch them bite each other at high level. Especially since her special turns us from a fighter into a 1v1 round of DBD, where you're the survivor. Being honest, I've only fought 3 paps before, and I didn't win a singular one. Granted, I then watched those same paps proceed to run the servers they were in with an iron hoof, a coat that can detach and rotate around them in 360 degrees, maniacally cackling, with an anime cameraman.
Do I have to be here?
Yes, Palm, I was just getting to you. This poofy pompadour glam, with a name reminiscent of something that would make a cheerleader feel loneliness, is the game's stand-in for one of the more infamous fighting game picks out there. Kankuro from Ultimate Ninja Storm. Palm is a puppet brawler with a pack of puppies eager to pass paws even if she isn't. The pups can be summoned in different ways to lock out enemy movement and dish out punishing follow-ups. Just don't be that one person who would have no qualms about punting a pup into the exosphere. That's a good way to get on her non-existent bad side. Oh yeah, she also knows how to do the Raging Demon.
We got ourselves a stowaway. It's me. I'm
Shanty is a pirate, and the first round of DLC characters free to add to the roster. Apologies, tier backers. Being a pirate, her kit has a few moves that involve mixing up the opponent by sideswiping and using zoning approaches. Her move kit consists of various ways to do what goats usually do, which is run up on people and duff their fucking heads in. That also really makes you feel like Spider-Man! Or at least makes Ezio Auditore raise an iron knuckle in pride. She can even sing at decibels that damage opponents. These shanties, oh I get it now! Refill her mana and let her unleash more powerful hits. Pressure personified, she beats the opponent senseless while shifting the perspective almost fast enough to keep the camera guy awake, especially since she's got rather sticky hooves.
If it ain't bolted down, it's fair game.
Texas is the father of Airy and the heaviest hitter in the game so far. He's a remix on the formula he's equipped Airy with. Like Airy, he's equipped with a command grab, only he has a smack while she just yoinks. Airy may anti-air you from the ground and pull you in for a whap, but her father will beat your flank from halfway across the screen first, bring you in and hit stun, knock you down, pick you back up, and then literally put you under the ground. No, seriously, here's a shovel, you have to dig yourself up. If you're not in the air, he'll knock you up there himself with his cowbells or a ground pound. If he's bored of giving you uppies, he'll hit you with a get over here and literally rip the ground underneath you towards him to knock you off balance. Homie's kit is literally meant to throw you around the battlefield, damn near Waddy Rob style.
Nice rack. I must admit, yours is splendid as well.
Speaking of tossing you around the battlefield, meet a professional volleyball player. Cult Perfect. Elias from Ice Covered. Stronghoof is the latest addition to the Fuzz You Pay Me plan, utilizing his own mastery of the ice he crafts weapons and armaments to extend his reach and wall-bounce foes. He's accompanied by a sprite named Batter, who's secretly voided out into that poncho of his. Able to swing crafted arms for follow-ups and throw hands in tandem with Stronghoof to peach combo your health bar so hard they literally make sections of your health vanish without even a pop of snow. For a noble warrior meant for the scrap, this devastating gear is almost as unga as DBS Broly. He'll serve you into a wall, bash you with a spiked boot, how does he even know what that is, impale you on a spear, kick you into a wall, bounce you off it again, and wow, I haven't pushed a single button, but I've gained a whole new level, and apparently I've lost 5 games. Alright, so this game is dead. And it has been for a while now, with the ceasing of all development once we get Baihe and Nidra all but assuring that dead status. However, the canceling of the story mode has the entire fanbase raising a pitchfork. Now I could sit here and speculate all of the various reasons on why the player base dissipated. Ew, maybe it's because it's just another turbo clone. Could have to do with all the other fighting games that came out when all they do is just drop characters.
Maybe it's because it's basically Skullgirls for those weirdo horse fuck.
First off, that last one kind of hurts as a player, not gonna lie. Paprika's the only real weirdo in this game, and that's mostly due to the fact that she doesn't speak. She does that. Also, she hates personal space. Second, Lauren Faust designed every bit of this game, so the quadrupedal focus and specific art style was kind of just an added bonus, especially since we started off with GBA level sprite work in 2012, and there aren't many 1v1 fighting games where you have a non-bipedal hitbox to worry about. So the interest can be built. It was! But that interest can fade away disturbingly quickly. And I think either Main 6 or more likely Modus probably didn't see that during the acquisition. By the time the game had released, the game was already competing with My Hero 1's Justice, Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, Lethal League Blaze, Street Fighter's 30th Anniversary Edition, Soul Calibur 6. Oh, and if it wasn't bad enough, fucking Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, before we got the first DLC character, Shanty, we also got MK11, Jump Force, Power Rangers, Battle for the Grid, DOA 6, Mordhouse, Samurai Showdown, UFC 4, Grand Blue, Streets of Rage 4, DBZ Kakarot, Street Fighter 5 Champ, One Piece Pi War 4, GG Strive, Multiple Lumina, why is this one so bad? Virtual Fight 5. 4 freaking years go by, okay? These games can't run off of just updates alone when players are going to be juggling all of this yearly. I get it. I don't know anything about game development, coding, or animation, but at the time of release, you had to know that you were starting a rigged race. Your game is competing with fucking Nintendo here for its starting leg. So many other things happen in the fighting game scene before this game so much as blinks. Seriously, how is it that we have 2 DLC characters who are in the story mode, playable, but we still don't have Chapter 2, which is crazy to say because while researching for this last section, I found out that the entire story is already written. In fact, the streamer wall for a second. Attempting to stream the story mode in one shot proved impossible, not just because I suck at video games, but also the first chapter is 3 separate parts. I'm with Lauren here. Why isn't this a comic book? The story mode being cool and the salt mines being fun were my main buy-ins for the game. I played through Chapter 1 for the first time offline. I had a blast and actually whooped ass, which is saying a lot since I'm pretty sure it only comes with my familiarity with the Z engine, which was another boost to your game and your brand, as that's the engine that was made for Skullgirls. I know you wanted to use that shit. You put it on your f***ing website. If you're on console, or at least on Switch, you can't chat. Actually, that's not true. You can't read chat. You can only read these quick phrases and nothing else. The Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation all have pop-up keypads and have had pop-up keypads since their inceptions. Seriously, at least let me read chat. It's celebrated when a good fighting game finally gets rollback and that better netcode, especially when they haven't had it since launch. Hell, Fighter Z only got rollback the day I rewrote this script, and they released characters on characters on characters, probably because the story mode is hot, steaming garbage that even I can't get through with all of my vices at hand.
What are hands?
I'm trying to be serious here. I remember I first bought the game because I wanted to play with some friends, don't we all? When I hopped into a lobby to test out the game and spec up for fighting in there, I ended up spending my entire week in there. I was so inspired I made a montage and literally named it with a question. Why don't people make videos about this game? That video sits at 1.4K views and is only beat out by this tutorial that I made as one of my first real videos. And the second montage I made for the game almost a week after, I'm sure. This was just supposed to be another montage where I don't speak and just text box at you while the algorithm goes brrrr. But now, I guess what was supposed to be the first of the new year is the last Christmas in Foenum. Thanks for watching. This game is 5 years old and had so much planned for its future, and now that future is looking rather uncertain, so I guess this is what I have to end the year off with. You can find me bulling online as Rummy Pockets Empty and Boise and Pro. till the servers die, or at least till the game gets revived. I can't chat much on Oisian Pro since Switch still has no chat capabilities, but if you see Rummy Pockets Empty running in a circle in a lobby, come say hi. Until whenever I post next, go easy on your sandbags, people. You never know when it might get repossessed. Man, I never even got to come out of the stupid mines. Instead, I spent my time getting bludgeoned by a dragon with hooves and then getting my cuts dragged along the wall.